Casey Phillips here with our specialists. It is time for another group chat presented by the Florida Lottery. And I mean, man, already, Bradley, you said that you thought you guys were going to be the best of the group chats. You seemed very confident in this.
Yeah, absolutely. We're the most fun in the locker room, so you can always count on the specialists.
I feel like you guys also it's like required that you guys be good friends, get along well, because you do spend an inordinate amount of time together at practice, in the locker room, doing all these things. Is this true? Do you guys feel like this little family? Do you fight? Do you all get along? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the reason is because all of our jobs rely on the other person. Like neither me or Ryan can do our job without Zach, and so it's one of those things where we all rely on each other. So you have to be one big happy family, and it's not always happy. We do definitely bicker like brothers, but that's part of a family. If you can't bicker, what's the good in having brothers, you know?
And do you guys consider yourself superstitious? Because I feel like of all positions, it kind of makes sense that would be something that you guys do. I feel like a lot of times specialists are big into routines. Ryan, do you think, are you superstitious, or is Bradley?
No, I don't think it's too superstitious. I don't think any of us have to wear the same shirt or eat the same food, anything like that. I think we stick to our routines. We kind of find what works, which I think is just part of being prepared. I wouldn't really say superstitious, but anyway, it seems to work.
Yeah. Bradley, are there any things that maybe it's not superstitious? Are there certain routines that, maybe you or Ryan do before you kick, or things to just with each other, for each other, to help out?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're all like a really religious group. So I think one of the things I see Ryan do before every game is read his Bible, which I think is awesome. And then we actually pray as a group before every game also. We kind of just come together, say a little prayer. Ryan's been tasked with the duties of saying the prayer every single game because it worked last year. So we say a little prayer before every game, and then we just have really big trust in each other. So I don't know if there's technically any superstitions. Like we don't have to do something every single game. It's more of like we enjoy doing it. We enjoy the prayer. We enjoy talking to each other, cutting up, and just keep, like Ryan said, keeping each other level-headed. So we don't really have any superstitions. I think if anybody is superstitious, the most in our group has got to be Zach. To be honest with you, it's got to be.
Say that?
He's got to have his car for the games. He's got to drive his car to the games. It's his new car now to the games. And then I don't know if anybody's going to be superstitious. I think it's Zach.
100%. I eat the same breakfast every single day for the entire season because I heard Ray Allen did that and it worked. So I'll do that again forever.
That's fair.
That sounds terrible, Zach. The same thing.
It was terrible, and that's why I didn't eat breakfast for pretty much the subsequent 2 months after the season, but now I'm back on it.
So what is it? Your same breakfast you eat every single time. Tell me what it is.
It's overnight oats with peanut butter, MCT oil, almond milk, cinnamon. Everything's just measured out. So
I want to hear for you, Bradley, as the holder for Ryan. You guys talked earlier about the fact that you guys all rely on each other for your jobs. Do you feel like you get more nervous or stressed or feel more pressure for a big punt or to hold for Ryan?
Ryan's going to hate this answer, but I think I get more nervous for a big punt, honestly. Because I think holding is actually my favorite part of my job. If it sounds weird as that sounds, I just thoroughly enjoy it. And I like to think I'm halfway decent at it. So it's fun. Like I'm not using my feet for once, so I get to catch the ball and put it down. I always joke with like Mike and Chris Godwin that I have more catches than them in a year, because if you combine the snaps for punts and for field goals, I'm blowing it out the water every year. So I might start to try to get paid like a top wide receiver and see what happens.
I think I see no problem with that plan at all. I think you should also register for the Pro Bowl as a wide receiver,
Absolutely. I mean, I think I would probably have, last year especially, we kicked a ton of field goals and extra points. So I might have one of the most catches in the NFL. You never know.
So I also wanted to talk to you, Ryan, about now we have a second Mr. Irrelevant on the team. And you, of course, were the first Mr. Irrelevant to play in and win a Super Bowl. So you know a thing or two about how to succeed as a Mr. Irrelevant. Have you gotten a chance to talk to Grant yet? And either way, what's the advice or conversation that you want to have with him?
Yeah, Ryan, have you told Grant about the big bonus and trip that he has coming up?
No, I'll let Grant know about that when we see each other here in minicamp, hopefully. But anyways, looking forward to meeting Grant. It's always good to have another Mr. Irrelevant in the family, and especially on our team. And I think the biggest advice I would give him as far as being Mr. Irrelevant is just embrace it. Embrace it. It's a unique opportunity. It's pretty cool that you get a whole week dedicated to you out in California. They're going to roast you. They're going to toast you. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. I got really good at that. When you're a field goal kicker, when your last name's Succop, when you're the very last pick, they got a lot of ammunition on me. So, certainly had to, be able to laugh at myself a little bit, which is good. But then when it comes time to get on the field, man, take advantage of your opportunity. At the end of the day, you have an opportunity to play the game that you love and pursue the dream that you've probably had for a long time. So, man, get after it, embrace it, and just make the most of it when your number's called.
I heard you're not only good at laughing at yourself, but you're pretty good at laughing at other people too, as the resident jokester on the team is what I've been told. And it sounds like Zach gave us a little bit of an insight into one of your favorite jokes to pull. So explain to people what Zach was talking about and some of your other favorite jokes that you have pulled on your teammates in recent years.
Well, Casey, I appreciate the question. I can't give all my secrets away on here or else I won't be able to pull the joke off. That's the first rule of being, a pretty good prankster. But let's just say that in 13 years, I've seen a lot and I've learned a lot. And I, as a specialist, you have a little bit more free time on your hands. And so you got to have a sense of humor and try to keep things light. So I got a couple ideas, and I'll keep my secrets, close to the belt for now. But after they are pulled off, maybe we can have us back on here. We'll discuss them. How about that?
So I want to know from you guys, what is the stuff from school, from your education, that you feel like has helped you most getting to this point of, if there are people that are in high school or in college and wanting to be you, that you guys are now those guys that everybody looks up to, that are kickers, punters, long snappers out there. What is it that you would tell them was the experience from your education that was really important? Ryan, we can start with you.
Yeah, I would say that probably the greatest thing that I learned in my education, whether it be at early school, middle school, high school, college, whatever, is work ethic. If you want to make good grades, if you want to do well, you got to work at it. And I think that's something that has carried over into my professional career. Is just knowing that in order, anything that's worth doing takes work. It's great now as, I've got 3 kids and 2 of them are in school now. My 5-year-old son, he loves football. He loves football, and he loves all sports. And before school every day, he's like, Dad, I don't want to go to school today. And I'm like, well, Cooper, if you want to be able to play sports, you got to go to school. And I tell him that, Gronk had to go to school, and Scotty Miller and Tom, and I just go through the list. And then he'll be like, well, did Chris Godwin have to go to school? And I'm like, yeah, buddy, Chris Godwin had to go to school. And he's like, all right, Dad, I'll go to school. And so anyway, it's kind of fun seeing it come full circle. And, you try to instill those values in your kids as well. So it's been kind of neat.
And speaking of kids, you ended up having a baby the same day as Shaq. Is that true?
Yeah, same birthday. So 4/19 is a good day for the crew.
That is a good day. I like that. All right, Bradley, how about you?
Yeah, I'd say the studying aspect of it. People don't really realize how much film breakdown and study of the opponent actually goes into the NFL and what guys do in the NFL. So being able to carry over what you've learned, how to study and what works for you, whether you're a visual guy watching film, whether you're a notes guy taking notes in a meeting, whether you're whatever your way of learning is, having known that since figuring that out through high school and college, I think it's really carried over for me. I'm a visual guy, so you show me how to do something and let me watch how to do it, and I'm more capable of learning that way. So learning that, I think, was something huge that carried over from my educational life into my career as an athlete. Just being able to studying of the breakdown of the film and just different things that you've got to study that people don't really realize go into football.
And Zach, how about you?
The system itself, I can't say I was really into it. I wasn't the best student, but I had a couple of professors in college and in high school that really opened up my eyes as to okay, this is kind of what we're going over. This is the curriculum, but this is also look over here too. We can look at, politics or political science or psychology. And there are certain aspects that you might be able to find a little bit more, this catches your attention a little bit more So I think those people in particular allowed me to just be curious and look at things with a different angle. And I think that helps. Bradley made a really good point about looking at film study. So the way that I look at film study will be, you take overall, you're looking at the big picture. And then because you're curious, you're looking at small picture things that end up making a huge deal, especially when you can pick up on it in the fourth quarter and, someone's feet are facing a different direction or they have a tendency in the first quarter versus the fourth quarter. Those small little details, I think I was able to pull from those professors that had a big impact on me.